Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome to Williams World. This is yours truly, Awesome Will, the awesome one. I hope that each and every one of you individuals are feeling amazing. I myself, I am feeling phenomenal. I have had a progressive day. I have had an amazing day. I have had a blessed day. And I'm hoping that yours has been the same as well. You know, Today is a day that the Lord has made. So let us all rejoice and be glad in it. You have every reason to be. You know, you woke up this morning, you know, uh, uh, you opened your eyes or you parted your eyes. You have your life, you have health, you have your strength as well. Excuse me, I'm feeling a little bit better, because for the past couple of days, due to constant, weather change, and different climates, me traveling, being in different climates, it had an impact or it, affected, the way that I was speaking and breathing, similar to sinus, the reflux. But for the most part, I'm feeling pretty good. You know what I mean? I'm feeling pretty good. This joy that I have, no man alive can take it away from me. You know what I mean? I feel amazing. And I hope that you do, I hope that you do as well. I hope that you've had an amazing day and you're having an even, amazing night or amazing night, and I'm just excited because I have something so incredible that I'd like to share with you on tonight. And I'm sure that this message that I'm going to relay to you is definitely something that many of us can relate to, regardless of what walk of life or what path, you are currently walking. It's definitely something that you can relate to. And I'm glad that the Most High God put it on my heart, you know, so that I can deliver this message to you. This is a good word. When I say it's a good word, I'll let you be the judge of that, but it's definitely something that all of us can relate to, especially like my 80s babies, the millennials and you know, uh, if you was born, you were born in the 90s or whatever, it's something you can definitely relate to as well, and like I said, I'm excited to relay this message to you. I hope that you enjoyed the previous one or the previous message that, or the previous live that I did. If you haven't checked it out, feel more than welcome and more than free than to stay right here with me on this platform and feel free to review all that we have established or all that we have produced or all that we have created for you here on the platform. You do not have to leave. I advise you or I encourage you to listen to all the lives. I encourage you to check out all the videos and hopefully you find something there that is a bit intriguing and something that you really like and enjoy because there's a combination of different things and different topics that, I talk about on the Gifted Magazine, platform. It just isn't it covers various topics, various subjects, rather it's science fiction, rather it's science. Uh, you know, um, I don't really get much into politics because that isn't really my avenue. When I was in my early 20s, you know what I mean? I was very passionate about politics and things of that nature. But, for the most part, I cover various topics and they are available to you right here on GFTD magazine, GFTD magazine, Gifted Magazine 954. If you haven't liked, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you know, feel more than welcome to do so. You can also share the content, as you wish. I encourage you to do that also. And I'd just like to thank you for being here and tuning in with me tonight on such a pleasant night, such an amazing night, such a blessed night as I mentioned. So now we're about to crack the ground on this one. You know what I mean? We are about to get down. Do you hear me? So I was inspired. I was inspired truly when I decided that I'd speak on this topic or this subject matter due to the fact or due to the simple fact, and it being very simple, that my father used to use these expressions, and I, like I said, my father is my greatest inspiration. My father is my hero. You know what I mean? And he influenced me in such a way, I mean, that it's amazing. You know what I mean? And some of the things that he used to say, they never left me. They never left me. And they were positive things. And they were also things that leaves you in a deep state of ponderance, wondering exactly what he meant. Although it could mean multiple things according to how you perceive that thing or you embrace the thing or that thing, that very thing that he was saying. You know what I mean? It was it was riddled. you know, most of the things that he would say is almost as if they were riddles that he wanted me to discover at that or that he wanted me to find out on my own. You know what I mean? They were brain teasers. You know what I mean? Some of them were direct, but at the same time, they can be indirect as well. Now, what I want to talk to you about tonight is seek and ye shall find. Once again, seek and ye shall find. Before the Bible, the ancient roots of a universal truth. Once again, seek and ye shall find before the Bible, the ancient roots of a universal truth. Just as I was mentioning that my father would speak things and sometimes it would be a pattern of riddles or it would be presented as a riddle. And sometimes it could be clear as day. And then again, it might not be. Some people say I say what I mean and I mean what I say. My father wasn't necessarily like that. Although he meant all of those things that I just said. I say what I mean and I mean what I say, but not all the time. But at the same time, he said he meant what he said, and he said what he meant, or he meant what he said, and he said what he meant, or he meant, vice versa, right? Now, time travel with me. I'm gonna take you back. As I mentioned in the previous video, my father or my parents were self-employed, being owners of a lawn care service and a paint and body shop, right? And during most summers, I wasn't out playing with friends and, with my spare time and things of that nature. No, my father taught me from young to be a responsible young man. I was down at the shop. He takes me down to the shop with him, you know, almost every day of the week for the summer. Sometimes we close the shop early and we go out on the water on this 50-foot yacht. He and a friend of his by the name of Danny. And he had a daughter. Danny had a daughter as well. And we would go out on the ocean sometimes. Some Fridays, business might be slow, and they decide, hey man, let's go fishing. Or it might be midweek. You say, hey man, how about we go fishing, man? Let's go fishing. They pull out the yacht, we go out on the water, we go fishing, we hang out, and it was a pleasant day. It was a beautiful day, and it was an amazing experience. Being so young, my father allows me, to drive the ship sometimes. And I was very, very young. I couldn't have been no more than about 10 years old, 9, 10 years old, and all he would tell me. So I remember one night we went out on the water. It was myself. It was Danny. It was his daughter, his girlfriend, and a couple of other relatives. And one time, this particular time or moment that we were out on the water, we were at sea, they allowed me to drive the ship. And I was on the upper deck and they was on the lower deck, you know? So my father, he told me, you know, to keep your eyes on the lighthouse. So I'm a kid. I'm not really understanding what he's saying. And watching different television shows and things of that nature when you're a kid, even down to driving a car, you know there's no true alignment while driving within the lane. When you're watching the angles or you're watching the motion and the movement of the steering wheel, they're just slightly turning it left and right, left and right, left and right. There's no steadiness of holding the wheel on television as you would drive an actual vehicle, or opposed to you driving an actual vehicle on the streets or in real life. So, in my mind, that was the proper way of driving the ship. So, he would say, keep your eyes on the lighthouse. That's what he would holler up to me on the top deck from below. Keep your eyes on the lighthouse, man. And then he would say, go with the current. He said, go against the current, not with the current. Go against the current, not with the current. And it's amazing because you would think that, well, this is what I was thinking when I was a kid. Okay, all I have to do is go with the current. But man, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something. Man, when those chairs that they were sitting on the lower on the lower deck started sliding, and they were tripping and falling. Somebody had to run up there and get back on course because I had gotten off course. And it's pitch black out. He's telling me to keep my eyes on the lighthouse. What exactly is the lighthouse? We normally come out in the speedboat or we come out on the yacht during the daytime. I've never driven at night. I've never driven at night. So we were about to capsize. We nearly capsized. So somebody had to run up there. Somebody had to run up there and grab the wheel and get us back on course again. You know, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you. That night, after that, everyone was so frantic, like, oh my God, like, man, I think we gonna take it in. After that, after that, everybody was like, man, I ruined the moment. Like I ruined the night. We hung out and we fished for probably, you know, uh maybe 45 minutes to an hour longer. But after that, everybody was like, man, it's time to go in now. So I kind of ruined the night. I kind of ruined the night. You know what I mean? But I was a kid. I didn't know. I was driving the speedboat. I didn't have any problems. It was during the daytime. But at night, he's mentioning a lighthouse. And I'm like, what exactly are you talking about? The lighthouse. Now, seek and ye shall find, right? Seek and ye shall find. I was looking, but it was something or an object that I was unfamiliar with. I couldn't identify what that thing was that he was mentioning. The lighthouse. Now, when during the daytime, it's already illuminated. The skies are illuminated. So I can drive during the day, but at night, I had absolutely no clue of what he was talking about. And then he said to go with the current. It's dark out. You know what I mean? I can't really see which direction the current is. So I'm just turning the wheel. I'm just turning the wheel. You know what I mean? Whichever way I thought I needed to turn the wheel, that's what I was doing. Because like I said, my perception of how you would drive a vehicle was turning the wheel left to right, like on television. That was my idea of how you should operate a vehicle, not a boat, but a vehicle. So that's what happened that night. Okay. Now I'm going to bring you to another scenario, right? Now keep in mind, seek and ye shall find. Now I'm going to bring to the forefront another scenario. Being around the shop, like I said, during most days or summer days with my father, we come through the door, he asked me, do I want to have coffee with him? I'm a young kid, you know, uh, in the office, when he didn't have anything for me to do, I didn't have any cars or anything to sand down. I would occupy my time listening to some of the records that he had in the shop, like Slam and the Supreme Angels, and a couple of others, 45 recordings that he had. And by my father being a gospel singer, I always wanted to be just like my dad. You know what I mean? My father was a gospel singer, a very popular gospel singer too. So in spare time, you know, I wanted to be a drummer, you know. I didn't realize that I had the ability to sing or to be a vocalist, but I just used to follow my father and I mimic my father, right? So in my spare time, I would listen to 45s in the office, and around the shop, they used to keep silverware sometimes around the shop, like bowls, mixing bowls and stuff like that they would, make our lunch in sometimes. But most of the time, we would eat out. There was a Burger King right up the street from Luca's Oil, you know, and Luca and my father were great friends. You know what I mean? So we'd go up there to grab a bite to eat, but I was in that office and I wanted to be a drummer so bad. And I just beat on pots and pans. I just beat on the little bowls, and being creative, even as a child, I didn't have any drumsticks. So what do? I go into the shop and I find uh some mixing sticks, paint mixing sticks, and that's what I would use for my drumsticks. Right now, with that being said, with that being said, my father, he was busy, and sometimes, he would say, "Hey, son." Yes, sir. Say, man, I need you to come in here and I need you to help me out, man, because I'm not going to be able to be running back and forth to the toolbox. So whatever I need, man, I'm going to tell you to bring it to me. We ain't gonna be long, but I want you to help me out, so I ain't got to keep going back and forth, and I could go ahead and get this job done. I say, yes, sir. So I'm standing there looking at him while he fixing a particular part, on the vehicle, or he's trying to get a fender or something like that off of the car, or something like that. And he say, hey, he say, what I want you to do is I want you to go over, to the snap on, roller box, and or roller toolbox. And what I want you to do is I want you to bring me a 3/4 inch socket. I said, yes, sir. So he asked me, what did I tell you to bring? I said, a 3/4 of a 3/4 of a quarter of an inch or a quarter of an inch socket. That's what you want. You want me to bring a quarter of an inch socket. He said, okay, go and get it. So I go over to the box. Quite a bit of a distance because the shop was pretty big. It was a pretty nice size. So I walk over to the rolling toolbox and I'm looking. There's about 7 drawers on this particular item or this particular, roller, box or roller toolbox. So I'm going through all of them and I don't see it. He want a quarter of an inch socket. I don't see it. So I'm over there and he starts hollering. Did you find it? I don't say nothing. A couple of seconds later, he asked me again, did you find it yet? Then I say, no, sir. I'm still looking. So I continue my hunt. I'm looking, trying to find this 3/4 of an inch socket. So I walk back over there to him and I tell him, I say, Dad, I say, Pops, man, I say, I can't find it. And what he told me, or what he would tell me often, seek and ye shall find. Seek and ye shall find. He said, yeah. He say, seek and ye shall find. Now go over there and grab what I need. Seek and ye shall find. And he would always use scriptures and things like that. You know what I mean? To to tell me what it is. It's pretty much like a cue, but he's making it relatable to what I'm currently doing at that time, the task. So he says, seek and ye shall find. So I go over there again and I'm rambling through everything, trying to see if I could find it. He wanted a 3/4 of an inch socket. So I'm looking through all the drawers. Then he tells me, look, it should be in the very top drawer. And man, it's tools everywhere. It's sockets. I mean, big, small. Oh man, I'm talking about a toolbox full of different items, full of different things. So I'm looking, can't find it. So I go back over to him and I tell him, I say, Dad. He said, yeah. I say, Dad, I can't find it. I can't find it. So now he's looking at me like he's a bit frustrated or disappointed because he knows that's his toolbox. He knows that what he wants is directly where he told me that it is. But I said, I don't see it, right? It's a lot of stuff in that toolbox, but he told me where it was and he know for a fact that it's there, but I can't find it. So he tells me, so you can't find it? I say, no, sir. Now I'm gonna ask you again. You can't find it? No, sir. So now I gotta stop doing what I'm doing to go over to the toolbox and look for a 3/4 of an inch socket. That's what you're telling me, right? Yes, sir. I don't see it anywhere. Now, if I go over here and I find this socket, I'm gonna be upset with you. So now I'm a bit nervous. I know I've been looking. I know I've been looking. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Now he has to stop or discontinue doing what it was he was doing to go and find something. He know it's there, but I don't see it, right? So we walk over to the toolbox together. Soon as he opened the toolbox, he rolled his hands through the sockets. You know what I mean? Kind of like he's kind of like shuffling or mixing dominoes. He rolls his hands across all the sockets that's inside of the drawer, that particular drawer that he told me to look inside of. And he stands there for a few seconds. He reaches inside of it, grabs it with his fingers, and he showed me. Here it is right here. You told me that you didn't see it. Here it is right here. Why couldn't you find it? I didn't see it, Dad. I didn't see it. It was right here. You see this? It was right here. Then he told me again, seek and ye shall find. And he walked off, and I followed behind him, going back over to the truck. And almost every time thereafter that he asked me to go, rather it was to grab a hammer, rather it was to grab a tube of Bondo or whatever it was that he needed. He needed me to find the broom, so we could sweep the shop out and go and find the blower head so he could connect it to the hose and we can blow the shop out or whatever. From that day forward, it was very rare that he would tell me to go and find an object and I couldn't find it. When he goes over there looking for it and I tell him I can't find it, he can't find it either. He can't find it either. But for the most part, every time that he asked me to find a particular tool, I'd come back with it because I always remember, I never forgot what he told me. Seek and ye shall find. That's what inspired me to create this live, regarding this topic or this subject tonight, right? Now, the phrase seek and ye shall find is widely recognized as a biblical teaching, primarily from the New Testament, where Jesus encourages his followers to actively pursue truth, wisdom, and faith. However, the principle it conveys, that persistent seeking leads to discovery, predates the Bible and appears in many ancient traditions, philosophies, and cultures. Long before the biblical era, civilizations across the world upheld the idea that searching for knowledge, spiritual enlightenment, or material success was fundamental to human progress. This live explores the origins of this idea in ancient philosophy, mythology, and religious thought, revealing that the essence of seek and ye shall find has shaped human thought for millennia. The principle of seeking in ancient cultures. Number one, ancient Egyptian wisdom. One of the oldest civilizations to promote the pursuit of knowledge and truth was ancient Egypt. Egyptian teachings preserved in hieroglyphic texts and wisdom literature emphasized that those who actively sought wisdom would be rewarded. The maxims of Ptah, Ptep, Top, Tahoptet, wow, right? Circa 2400 BCE is one of the earliest known collections of moral and philosophical teachings. It advises young people to listen, learn, and seek truth from those who are wise. Taotep, a high-ranking official in the Egyptian court, believed that wisdom was not given but earned through seeking and listening. If you are a wise man, train a disciple, for he will be well equipped if he listens. Seeking knowledge is the path to wisdom, as my father gave, as my father did, right? Similarly, the Egyptian concept of Mayat, representing truth, justice, and order, encouraged individuals to actively seek harmony and righteousness in life. The pursuit of Mayat required effort and discipline, reinforcing the idea that searching for wisdom would yield enlightenment. Number two, the Mesopotamian search for knowledge. In Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization, the pursuit of wisdom was central to literature and religious thought. The Epic of Gilgamesh, circa 2100 BCE, tells the story of King Gilgamesh, or Gilgamesh's relentless search for immortality. Gilgamesh embarks on a journey to find Ut-Napishtim, up Ut-Napishtim, or Pishtim, the only human granted eternal life by the gods. His journey symbolizes the human quest for deeper understanding, self discovery, and the truth about mortality. Though Gilgamesh does not find the eternal life he seeks, he gains wisdom about his purpose and the value of his earthly life. This ancient epic reflects the idea that the pursuit itself, rather than the destination, brings the most profound revelations, much like the later biblical teaching of seek and ye shall find. That's powerful. Number three, Hinduism, seeking knowledge and enlightenment. Hindu philosophy recorded in the Upanishads, Upanishads, circa 800 through 500 BCE, also emphasizes the importance of seeking wisdom. The Upanishads teach that truth is hidden beneath the illusions of the material world and must be actively sought through meditation, self-inquiry, and what? Discipline. One of the key Hindu scriptures, the Bhagavad Gita, speaks of the importance of seeking knowledge. Check this out. A person is made by their belief. As they believe, so are they. Now, that's a familiar scripture, right? As a man thinketh, so is he, right? So they are. Seek knowledge, and the truth shall be revealed. The Gita teaches that individuals must take action and seek wisdom to understand the deeper mysteries of life. This aligns closely with the idea that those who pursue truth with sincerity will ultimately find it. Don't you stop until you find it. There's a bright side somewhere. Old gospel song, right? The concept of seeking in Greek philosophy. The ancient Greeks placed great emphasis on the pursuit of truth, wisdom, and virtue. Greek philosophers, especially Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, developed methods of questioning and reasoning to discover truth. Socrates and the Socratic method. Socrates, 469 to 399 BCE, is famous for his belief that wisdom begins with recognizing one's own ignorance. He encouraged people to ask questions, seek answers, and challenge conventional wisdom. The Socratic method, a form of disciplined questioning, was designed to lead seekers to truth through persistent inquiry. Socrates' most famous quote, "The unexamined life is not worth living." Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. How powerful is that? What? Come on, man. How powerful is that? The unexamined life is not. worth living. My goodness. Mm, mm, mm. That's philosophy for sure. Reflects the same principle as seek and ye shall find. One must actively seek knowledge to live a meaningful life. What? Actively seek. Actively seek knowledge. To do what? To live a meaningful life. Plateau and the allegory of the cave. Plateau 427 through 347 BCE expanded on this idea in his allegory of the cave. He describes prisoners trapped in a dark cave, only able to see shadows on the wall. When one prisoner escapes and discovers the true world outside, he realizes that reality is far greater than he previously believed. Come on, man. This allegory teaches that truth is hidden and must be sought through philosophy and reason. Those who seek enlightenment despite challenges will ultimately discover reality in its fullness. Aristotle and the pursuit of knowledge. Aristotle 384 or 384 to 322 BCE believed that human beings naturally desire knowledge. His book, Metaphysics, begins with a statement. Check this out. All men by nature desire to know. Come on, man. By nature. Is it not true? All men by nature desire to know. Come on, man. And this was a book, his book, Metaphysics. Come on now. Come on now. For Aristotle, the pursuit of truth required logic, observation, and reasoning. He emphasized that knowledge and wisdom were not passively received, but had to be actively sought through experience and study. The seeking motif in ancient religions. Buddhism, the search for enlightenment. The story of Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, circa 5th through 4th century BCE, is one of the greatest examples of seeking leading to discovery. Sid- Siddhartha, born a prince, left his palace in search of truth after realizing the reality of suffering. Come on, man, because what? He desired to know, right? He had to find the truth after realizing the reality of his suffering. It's deeper than what he going through, and he knew it. He knew it. It was more to it than just what his current situation was. And he left to find truth. He left. He departed from that place to find truth because it was greater. His knowledge or his thirst for knowledge was much greater than the suffering. And he had to discover what the cause of it was. He had to discover himself, right? After years of ascetic practices and meditation, he attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. His teachings in the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path emphasize that seeking wisdom, mindfulness, and right, not listen now, his teachings in the Four Noble Truths, the Four Noble Truths And the eighth fold path emphasize that seeking wisdom, mindfulness, and right action leads to what? Liberation from what? Suffering, man. Come on now. Come on, man. His teachings in the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path emphasize that seeking wisdom, mindfulness, and right action leads to liberation from suffering. Buddhism teaches that truth must be sought through inner reflection and disciplined practice, reinforcing the universal principle of seek and ye shall find. Come on, man. The inner seekings, the inner findings of self. What you find within will soon be a reflection outwardly. Outwardly. Huh? Huh? You feel like trash, you live like trash, right? You feel good, you live good. But it all starts within. It's more about the inner findings of oneself, the restoration, the redemption of oneself. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the tangible things. You can have all the tangible things that you want and still feel like trash on the inside. And trust me, there's many out here that's like that. They have everything and still depressed. They want your life. They can say whatever they want to say about you. They have everything, but they want your life because they have no peace. None. You've done the work inside. Now that you've done the work inside, it's a reflection of what you feel within on the external, and they're identical. Y'all twins around this thing, man. What I feel on the inside, on the outside, that's my twin, man. And it shows in your creation, in your work, in your ability, in your craft, in your passion, because the burning desire is within. You've done the self examination, which was required, which was needed, right? Seek and ye shall find. Now, Taoism, seeking harmony with the Tao. In ancient China, Liaozi, or Laozi, 6th century BCE, founded Taoism, a philosophy centered on the Tao, the way, in quotation. The Tao teaching, right, attributed to Liaozi, teaches that true understanding comes from seeking harmony with the natural flow of the universe. Come on, man. Come on now. The energy is real. The field is real. The feel is real. However you want to say it, FIELD or FEEL. The field or the field. They are both real. The field of energy and the field of energy. You dig what I'm saying? It is a real thing. Don't you think for once that it ain't, because it is. It is very real. Just like God Almighty, He is very real. You hear me? Now, Liazi wrote, "He who seeks shall find, he who persists shall succeed." Taoism emphasizes seeking balance, wisdom, and understanding of the unseen forces that govern life. Huh? You feel weighed down, right? It's not that life is weighing you down, it's energy forces. Sometimes it can be you, but for the most part, sometimes we have to change our settings, change our environments to change the what? The field, FIELD, the energetic field, or the FEEL, the energetic field, the energetic field, right? Sometimes it ain't natural. You might think that it's natural, but open your eyes. Open your eyes. It's not always natural. It's the energy, man. It's the energy around you, right? Rather it's your energy or somebody else's. You need to change the frequency, not just your frequency. You need to change the frequency. Okay? Now, those who seek the Tao with sincerity will find peace and enlightenment. Zoroastrianism, 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 seeking truth and righteousness. Zoroastrianism, one of the world's oldest monotheistic religions, circa 1500 through 1200 BCE, emphasizes the search for Asher, truth, and righteousness. The prophet Zarathustra, Zoroaster, Zoroaster, I'm sorry, taught that humans must seek truth in thought, word, and deed to align with divine wisdom. The Avesta, the sacred text of Zoroastrianism, Zoroastrianism states, "He who seeks the truth and righteousness shall find the path of" what? Light. 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 He who seeketh the truth and righteousness shall find the path of light. This teaching reinforces the idea that those who pursue truth will ultimately discover what? Enlightenment. Enlightenment. Now, the universal truth of seeking and finding. The concept of seek and ye shall find is not exclusive to the Bible. It is a universal truth echoed throughout history in various religions, philosophies, and cultures. From Egyptian wisdom literature to Greek philosophy, Hindu scriptures, Buddhist teachings, and Taoist thought, the message remains the same. It remains the same. There's a, think about it. There's only one God. There's only one Messiah, but there are many names. We all trying to get to the same person that we speak of. Different cultures, different races. It's the same thing. It's the same person. People have they just have different ways of worship and praise, but it's the same God. And if it isn't to the same God, their idea of what they should do or what they should praise to get to that God, that's what they do. But it's the same man. They it's the same man or the same being or the same energy, right? Rather it's Greek, Hindu, Buddhists, Taoists, Hebrew, Muslim. We all trying to get to the same God. But our style of praise and worship just differs from the one from the other, one culture to the other, right? Now, knowledge and truth are not given freely. Ain't that the truth? They must be sought. The journey of seeking often transforms the seeker, and it should. It should. It should transform you for the better. The pursuit of wisdom leads to self discovery and enlightenment. I did a video on this like 3 months ago. I did a live on this about 3 months ago. Self discovery, right? You got to know who you are to know where you're going. You dig what I'm saying? You can say, oh, I'm going to be this, or oh, I'm going here, I'm going there. But what vehicle are you using to get there? What, you hitching a ride with somebody else? I hope not. Because if you don't go for self, if you don't know who you are, people can lead you down a very, very, very dark path, man. Do you hear me? You went in smiling. You went in smiling. Now you crying like hell trying to come up out of it. You hear me? Do you hear me? Self-discovery is very important, man. And people will despise you for that matter. because they can't control you when you know you aren't unsure of self. You know who you are. And you ain't got to throw it in nobody's face and rub it in nobody's face. They just can't play with you. You see what I'm saying? At least not the way they want to play with you. You see, because for some, that's all life is a game to them about who they can manipulate, who they can control, etc. It's a game for many. But when you are chosen by God, or when you're a good human being, see, you're a little bit different from the rest. Because why? There was a finding. There was a rare finding, a rare discovery, more precious than gold, more precious than any diamond. You discovered you simply because you were seeking. Because when you seek, you shall what? Find. Right? Now, this idea persisted throughout human history and was later embraced in the Bible. Later embraced in the Bible, where it became a central teaching of Yeshua, of the Christ, of Jesus Christ, of Buddha, huh? Of Jah, of Jehovah, Jehovah Jireh. You see where I'm going? Now, in conclusion, long before the Bible, the principle of seeking truth, wisdom, and enlightenment was a cornerstone of ancient thought. What was it? A cornerstone of ancient thought, whether through philosophy, religion, or mythology. Civilizations recognized that those who actively seek will ultimately find what they are looking for. This ancient wisdom remains as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. There's nothing new under the sun. Do you hear me? That's why there's absolutely nothing new under the sun. That's why this ancient wisdom remains as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. In a world filled with what? Uncertainty, the act of seeking, whether for knowledge, purpose, or spiritual enlightenment, is still the key to finding meaning in life. Come on, man. Still the key. Still the answer. It's still the key, still the answer when it comes to enlightenment and finding what? Your meaning in life. Nobody else's, nobody else's, but your meaning in life. Not our meaning. No, 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 no. Specified. It's been specified specifically your meaning, your calling, your gift, your expertise, or your desired field, 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 energetic field, or F-E-E-L. Huh? Your specified field or feel in life. Better quality, your meaning, your personal identity, self awareness, self identity, self discovery. You know what I'm saying? Now, seek and ye shall find before the Bible the ancient roots of a universal truth. Now, many of you are familiar with this book that was published back in the 80s, the late 80s, that is. And it began circulating in the US, popular, it became very popular coming up towards, in the US towards like the 90s, mid 90s. But it was a go to book for most classes or for most teachers or for most students or the average kid academically, right? Now, what exactly do I speak of? What exactly is that book in which I speak of? Finding Waldo. You saw it in the thumbnail of this live. Many of you that are familiar with it or with that character. Finding Waldo. Now, seek and ye shall find, right? The ultimate search and find game. See, it's not a game to us. We for real about this thing. You see what I'm saying? Self discovery, energetic field. It gotta be right, baby. It gotta be right. You dig what I'm saying? Are you finding Waldo or are you finding Will? I'm finding Will. I've found Will. I've discovered Will. I've trademarked Will. You dig what I'm saying? God trademarked Will. God Almighty. You know what I'm saying? Notarized Will. He's the notary republic. God Almighty. Right? Finding Waldo. I found Will. Who did you find? Or are you still currently looking? Check this out. The ultimate search and find game. Like I said, is not a game to us. We serious about it, right? Like my pop used to say, serious is a heart attack, right? Introduction. For decades, the Where's Waldo or Where's Wally outside North America series has captivated children and adults alike with its vibrant, detailed, packed illustrations. And the challenge of locating a small, bespectacled man in a striped red and white outfit. First published in 1987, this beloved franchise has grown into a global phenomenon, spanning books, video games, merchandise, and even interactive experiences. But what makes Where's Waldo such an enduring and engaging game? Did you catch that? Now, let me rewind. But what makes Where's Waldo such an enduring and engaging game? In this live, we'll explore the history of the franchise, the psychology behind its addictive appeal, strategies for mastering the search, and the impact it has on popular culture. Did you hear that? We'll explore the history of the franchise, being you, the psychology behind its addictive appeal, you desperately wanting better for self, right? You seeking, wanting change, addicted to change. Once you start, you have now become addicted because you know that you deserve better, a better quality of life, a better wife, a better spouse, a better husband. You know what I mean? And that's what you're desperately seeking, you know, because you know for a fact that you deserve much more. You deserve much more. And you preparing yourself for this. If you aren't married, you see what I'm saying? You preparing yourself for these things because you're doing the inner work, right? And now that you on the road and things are so great, things are so good, how God is delivering such great things, or how God is working out so many great things in your life, and so many, He's performing so many miracles in your life, it's become addictive. And it comes from a genuine place. You don't praise God, you know, because you feel that He's going to give you something in return for your praise. It comes naturally. It's a part of life for you. You see what I'm saying? This is life for you. It ain't about, oh, if I praise God, He gonna give me this. Oh, if I do the inner work, I'm going. It's already been predestined. Your finances, your financial situation, your career, your future endeavors, it's already been aligned for you. Before you even got here, God already had it prearranged for you. All He needs you to do is focus on Him. He wants you to be addicted to Him. And trust me, it's a good addiction because there are so many addictions out here that aren't good for us. And I named a few of them last night: alcoholism, sex addiction, drug addiction, being a workaholic, right? It's an addiction, okay? Strategies for mastering the search and the impact it has had on popular culture. See, you're a trendsetter. You see what I'm saying? They can say whatever they want to say about you. They can speak negatively about you or whatever. But you are a trendsetter. You catch the eyes and the ears of many. Many of them want to be just like you. Some of them can't stand you because they admire you so much and don't know why. They look at you like you less than, right? But they're infatuated with you. They have an obsession with you. They just can't stay away from you. They gotta know what's going on in your life. They gotta know what's happening next. right? Because you have an enormous impact on many people, on lives in general. And what do? Focus on bettering self, focus on God, focus on the Most High God, right? And the impact that you have on popular culture. That is the reason being, because you are a child of God and you're not ashamed of the Most High God. Never have been, never will, right? Now, the origins of Where's Waldo. Check this out. The Where's Waldo books were created by British illustrator Martin Handford, a skilled artist with a passion for drawing detailed crowd scenes. Hanford initially worked as a freelance illustrator before landing the opportunity to create a unique interactive book. His concept was simple yet brilliant. A character named Waldo Wally in the UK would be hidden with elaborately drawn busy scenes, challenging readers to find him. The first book, Where's Wally, was published in 1987 and quickly became a massive hit, leading to numerous sequels and adaptations. Now, in the midst of elaborately drawn, busy scenes challenging readers to find him, they can't find him. But guess who can? You, because you're connected. You're connected to the Most High God. Some or many are searching for him and can't find him. And sometimes we can be Waldo. Many are looking for us, searching for us, and can't find it because we've transformed. We're no longer the person that we once were before. We have made an impeccable transformation, and we are no longer the people that they knew us as. No longer the same person. They trying to find Waldo. They trying to find Will. They trying to find, you know what I mean? We no longer reside there. We are no longer in that environment. We are no longer a part of that population. You might see me there, but mentally and spiritually, I no longer reside. I'm no longer there. Right? Now, they are the readers, and you challenging them. You're challenging them to find you. So, how can they find you? They have to do the same work that you did or that you're doing, if not more. That's the only way they'll be able to find you. They can't find you the way that they are because you no longer there. You are no longer there. They can't find you the way that you were. Right? Now, the first book, Where's Wally, was published in 1987 and quickly became a massive hit. You are a massive hit, right? They love to hate you, right? Check it out. Leading to numerous sequels and adaptations. They own you, right? Since its debut, the Where's Waldo series has sold over 80 million copies worldwide, proving that the thrill of searching never gets old. Seeking knowledge, wisdom, better understanding. self-identity, right? Soul searching, right? Finding yourself, self-discovery. It never gets old. Why? Because as long as you seeking knowledge, you're seeking more knowledge, you're doing more inner work, you're doing the work inside, and it by you doing the work inside, now there's a reflection of what you've done or what you're doing on the inside from self. There's a reflection being transmitted or being transferred from within onto the outside, right? And it's looking good, it's feeling good, it feels amazing, right? And what you're doing never gets old because why? When you're in the stage of self identifying or soul searching, you always find something new. You always discover something new during the process of self discovery. You discover something new about yourself. You come across some newfound knowledge, something that you can utilize, and it can assist you in a day to day life, your everyday life, or it can, assist someone else or help someone else to better their lives. But for the most part, in the process of searching, wanting to become a better person, it never gets old. And there's a continuous search because there's other elements of you during the self discovery stage that you discover almost every day. There's better parts of you, there's better qualities of you that you never realized that you had, right? And now you feel the need to exercise those qualities, right? Why? Because what you find, rather it be knowledge or rather it be self, it never gets old and you're always renovating, right? Rather you renovating for for a relationship, or you're renovating within for for your future endeavor, becoming an entrepreneur. You're renovating, you know what I mean, because you're looking to get married and have children with somebody. You're renovating, within, because you know that you're a good person. You know what I mean? You know that you're a good person and you want to become better. You know what I mean? You making all the necessary changes because why? It never gets old. It's an ongoing process. And the older you become, the more you want. Rather it be financially, you know what I mean? Rather it be uh more projects or endeavors that you desire to accomplish or fulfill. It never gets old. And these are different parts, of you that you probably have not yet discovered. And it never gets old, right? Now, why is Finding Waldo so addictive? Now, this is you, right? The appeal of Where's Waldo lies in its perfect blend of challenge, creativity, and fun. Several psychological factors contribute to its success, right? And maybe Waldo's God, right? Now, check it out. If it's related to God or the Most High God, the appeal of Where's Waldo, replace that with God. The appeal of Where's God lies in its perfect blend or his perfect blend of challenge, creativity, and fun. Several psychological factors contribute to its success. And what are those things that contribute to its success? You, like I said, our God is a rich God. At least the God I serve, he's a wealthy God, right? And he's successful, he's wealthy, he's rich. So are you. So are you. When they don't want to see you shine, when God got you looking and feeling a particular way, that makes him happy. He want to see you doing well. He put you in a position to do well. He gave you good health. He gave you a mind to be a free thinking person and not forget about it. He gave you the ability to be fruitful, to live life being more abundant. It's something that he gave to you. And you don't think that he's happy? Rather you're living it, or rather you're about to live it, or about to live it, or even if you have lived it and about to live it again, even without materialism or without material things. Your skin glowing, you got your health, you got your strength, you feel just as good as you look. It's all due to his grace and his mercy, right? And he wants to see you in great physical health, right? Now, the joy of the hunt. Here we go. Here we go. Humans, humans now are naturally wired to seek patterns and solve problems. Now, where's Waldo? Where's Waldo taps into an innate desire to search for hidden objects, making each successful find a rewarding experience. Seek, seek, and ye shall find. Hmm? Seek, and ye shall find. Taps into our innate desire to search for hidden objects, making each successful find a rewarding experience. And why? Because it never gets old, right? Number two, the power of focus. Looking for Waldo in a sea of distractions strengthens visual perception and concentration skills. The game encourages deep focus, similar to how puzzles or brain games work. Come on now. Looking for Waldo in a sea of distractions strengthens visual perception. Looking for God in a world of distractions strengthens spiritual perception and concentration skills. How about it? Huh? Looking for God in a world of distractions strengthens visual perception and concentration skills. Spiritual perception. Why? Because if you seek, you got it, you shall find. Seek, and ye shall find. Now, what is the satisfaction of achievement? Finding Waldo gives a small but satisfying sense of accomplishment. God is the greatest, right? Finding God, finding God gives a small but satisfying sense of accomplishment, triggering a dopamine release in the brain. This keeps players engaged and eager to search for the next challenge. This what? This keeps players engaged and eager to search for the next challenge. This keeps what? Servants e- eager or engaged. Huh? This keeps his children engaged and eager to search for the next challenge. Finding God gives what? A small, this is how it begins, even with self discovery. Finding self or finding God gives a small but what? Satisfying sense of accomplishment. Congratulations. Congratulations to your new beginning. Congratulations to another quality that you discovered about self that you never knew existed within. Congratulations to finding God, a higher power. Congratulations to you. And the win only gets greater with time. Because one thing you won't take ever is an L when you live for God. Ain't no losses here. It's a gradual thing. It gets better and better and better and better with time. As long as you trust him and you never, ever, 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 ever let him go, right? Because finding God gives a small but satisfying sense of accomplishment. Finding self gives a small in the beginning, but satisfying sense of accomplishment. And what a great accomplishment it is, right? Now, the love of detail and humor. Handford's illustrations are packed with humorous and unexpected elements, from bizarre characters to playful subplots. This makes each scene not just a game, but an artwork to be enjoyed. The social element, it's getting good, whether played alone or with friends. Where's Waldo fosters interaction? Families, classrooms, and online communities share tips, race to find Waldo first, and discuss favorite scenes. Come on now. Whether played alone or with friends, rather you pray alone or with friends. Whereas Waldo fosters interaction. Where's God, right? Fosters interaction because he speaks back. Just like I said in the last lie, when there's one or two gathered in my name, I am present. The Lord God Almighty is present. So rather you pray alone or pray with a friend, God fosters interaction, right? Families, classrooms, and online communities share tips, race to find Waldo first, and discuss favorite scenes. Come on now, in a hurry to get to him so they can discuss amongst each other how good God is. So each of them can share, even you can share your experience that you had with God and break bread, giving tips on what you can do, being of good counsel, showing one another what we can do to get closer to Him and what you enjoy or what you like most about your relationship with God, right? Running to each other, running to one another, huh? Racing to find God first when you already got Him, right? But it's just about the discussion that like minded people have or individuals have, making one another stronger, building each other up, making each other stronger, right? Now, mastering the art of finding Waldo. While Where's Waldo may seem like pure fun, there are some effective strategies that can help you find him faster, right? Scan the image in sections. Instead of aimlessly searching, break the image into quadrants and scan each section carefully. This structured approach increases efficiency. Look for his signature outfit. Waldo always wears a red and white striped shirt, blue pants, round glasses, and a red hat. Training your brain to recognize these elements will speed up your search. Identify common hiding spots. Waldo is often placed near the edges, partially hidden behind objects or in clusters of people with similar colors. Understanding these patterns can give you an edge. Take short breaks. If you can't find Waldo after several minutes, look away for a bit. Your eyes may refocus, allowing you to spot him more easily when you return. Enjoy the details. Don't rush. The fun of Where's Waldo isn't just finding him, but in appreciating the tiny humorous details in each scene. Don't rush it. It takes time. It ain't a race. And there's a good humor. There's a great joy in finding a higher power, finding the most high God. Why? Because it's not just about finding him, but in appreciating the tiny, humorous details in each scene. When you share your story, what you might be experiencing today, it might not be funny right now. Might not be so funny right now. Your situation might be critical, but to have good humor in sharing the details of each scene, weeks later, months later, years later, as you share your story, someone else will be inspired when you talk about the goodness of God, how you discovered him, when you discovered him, what happened, just sharing the tiny details, right? Now, the evolution of Where's Waldo over the years, Where's Waldo has expanded beyond books to include various media platforms, animated TV shows, video games, interactive books, and augmented reality, live events and challenges. Where's Waldo in popular culture? Some famous examples include The Simpsons. The show has made multiple Where's Waldo jokes, playing on the frustration of searching for him. Family Guy. A sketch humorously imagines Waldo trying to avoid being found. Google Earth's Waldo game. In 2018, Google integrated Where's Waldo into Google Maps as an interactive search game. Social media challenges. Many artists and brands have created their own Find Waldo style puzzles, often going viral. Why Where's Waldo is still relevant today. Even in the digital age where entertainment is fast-paced and interactive, Where's Waldo continues to thrive. Here's why. Timeless fun for all ages. God Almighty is for all ages, right? Waldo appeals to both children and adults, making it a cross generational activity that families can enjoy together. Number two, educational benefits. Studies show that search and find games improve visual perception, attention to detail, and patience. Educators often use Where's Waldo to enhance focus in studies or students. Nostalgia factor. Many adults who grew up with Where's Waldo now introduce it to their children, keeping the tradition alive. Like I said in the previous live as well, just as my father used to say, in my house, me and my family is going to serve the Lord. As for me and my house, we going to serve the Lord, right? And you should make it tradition. You should make it culture, a family culture, family tradition. Having a spiritual connection. Teach your children, teach your sons, teach your daughters about who God is, who the most high is. You know, teach them about spirituality. It doesn't necessarily have to be so much about, religion, although they should have the knowledge of that as well. But teach them that there is something much greater outside of them than there is on the inside of them. It all starts within, but there's something just as great being a higher power outside of them, right? Excuse me. Keeping the tradition alive. Adaptability. The franchise has successfully evolved with technology offering new ways to experience the game through apps, interactive books, and augmented reality. In conclusion, the Where's Waldo game is more than just a fun pastime. doing life with God, doing life with the Most High. The Where's God game is more than just a fun pastime. It's a cultural icon that has entertained and challenged millions of people for decades, for centuries. Okay? Its blend of humor, artistry, and search and find excitement keeps it fresh and engaging for new generation, for every new generation. Whether you're flipping through an old Waldo book, the Old Testament, right? Playing an online version or participating in a live challenge, right? The thrill of the hunt remains the same. The hunt for God, the hunt for peace, the hunt for self discovery, the hunt for knowledge, the thirst for knowledge, right? A joyous mix of patience, because you will need it, discovery, discovery within, and the satisfaction of finally spotting that striped shirt traveler. The satisfaction of finally spotting the Most High God. He was a traveling man, right? So next time you see a chaotic crowd scene, you hear this? Next time you see a chaotic crowd scene, don't be surprised if you instinctively start searching for a familiar red and white figure because Waldo's legacy is here to stay. God's legacy, the Most High God's legacy is here to stay. Your legacy is here to stay. Do you hear me? You were looking for something else and found God in the midst. So next time you see a chaotic crowd scene, don't be surprised if you instinctively start searching for a a chaotic a chaotic crowd scene, right? It's chaotic. That's the best time in turmoil. That's one of the best times to seek God in a chaotic crowd scene. Don't be surprised if you start looking for a familiar, not too many, not very many. There aren't very many that don't know his name, right? Don't be surprised if you instinctively start searching for a familiar red and white figure because God's legacy is here to stay. Not Waldo, although he is too, but we talking about God right now, Almighty, not to discredit anybody. God's legacy is here to stay, right? And that is only because you are in search of that thing, or you are currently in search of that thing, of peace, of enlightenment, self betterment, self discovery, self identity, higher learning, education, information, right? And the reason why you're able to do these things, or the only reason why you have done these things, or the only reason why you're better preparing yourself to do these things is because you understand, or overstand or understand that we must seek. And after seeking, ye shall find. So seek and ye shall find. This is Awesome Will here. I hope that you have enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and also share this content. Like I said earlier before starting this YouTube live, I encourage you to stay here and check out, numerous lives that I have pre-recorded or that I've recorded in the past and review those lives. Stay on the platform. And when you have the time and availability, also, you can go over to a word or at a word with William Emerald Music Group and check out some of the videos there on that platform as well. Thank you kindly for your love and support. It is much appreciated. Uh, like I said, I hope that you have enjoyed. Seek and ye shall find before the Bible, the ancient roots of a universal truth. Thanks for watching and enjoy.